walked in as guests. Yeah, we had a song, but the king got scared because we grew too strong. He looked at our faces, he saw a rising tide. Now my brothers are ghosts with nowhere left to hide. Oh, it is that impossible man. The more you touch our heart, the more we start to grow. Yeah, the more we start to grow.
Way down in our
The
soul.
river is a great, cold and running deep. My mother made a choice while the city was asleep. She put me in the reeds in a tiny wooden boat. She gave me to the water just to keep my life afloat. Oh, it is that impossible man.
Impossible man.
The more you crush our hearts, the more we start to grow. Yeah, the more we start to grow.
Way down in our soul.
I ate the hunter's bread, I wore the hunter's clothes, but the spirit in my blood is a thing that heaven knows. Heaven knows. The mask fell in the sand, the prince has run away. I'm just a lonely shepherd in the heat of the day. I'm walking to the mountain, I'm looking for the sign, leaving all that heavy gold way back there behind. The more you crush us, I said the more you crush us. Yeah, way down in my soul. Oh, you belong to neither. You live between two worlds. One day the mask lifts. You saw an overseer beating a slave. In a moment of raw, unpolished justice, he killed the man and buried him in the sand. He thought he was a hero. The next day he found out he was just a fugitive. His own people didn't want his help, and the king wanted his head. He fled, yeah. He ran till empire was a smudge on the horizon. He traded his royal linen for the wool of a shepherd. 40 years passed, the prince became a nomad. The fire in his blood became the ash of the desert. He grew old in the silence of the wilderness, thinking his story had already been written and finished. Then the silence broke. It wasn't a shout, it was a bush that burned but didn't vanish. A voice called his name from the flames, not the name given by the palace, but the name whispered by his ancestors. The voice told him to go back, not to negotiate, but to demand. The shepherd argued he was slow of speech, tired of heart, and convinced of his own insignificance. But the voice didn't ask for his competence, it asked for his presence. He returned to the palace. The new king was a man who believed he was a god. When the shepherd said, "Let my people go," the king laughed. He didn't see a prophet, he saw an old man with a stick to prove his point. He doubled the workload, he made the slaves gather their own straw for bricks. He wanted to show them that their hope was that any restored it. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. There's love there. The world began to unmake itself. The river turned to blood. There wasn't a magic trick. Source of the empire's life came the smell of its dead. Then came the frost, and that's the flies. Nature itself seemed to be rejecting the king's authority. King would yield, then hard he would promise, then betray. Each time he doubled down on his pride. Stakes rose, boys, pale opus, and the darkness so thick you could feel it against your skin. The empire was being dismantled, layer by layer, showing that the gods of Egypt were silent against the voice of the wilderness. Fine too, finally the shadow fell. The one thing the king had used to control the people, the death of their sons came to his own doorstep. And one night the power of Egypt was broken by a grief so loud it woke the dead. The gates opened. The nation of slaves walked out into the moonlight. They didn't just leave, they were pushed out by a city that could no longer bear the weight of them. They carried their bread before it could rise, and the gold of their former masters in their pockets. They were free, but they were terrified. They used the air that was changed. They cried out, "¿Quién lo expected to believe?" Shepherd stood at the water's edge. He didn't give a speech, he held out his hand when the wind began to howl. It blew all night, a relentless tearing force that carved a path through the deep. They walked through on dry ground, the walls of the ocean standing like silent witnesses on either side. When the Egyptian army followed, the sea simply remembered how to be a sea again. The empire drowned in its own pursuit. On the other side, there was dancing. There were songs. For a moment they felt like a nation. But the desert is a cruel mirror. It shows you who you really are when the adrenaline wears off. Within weeks, the dancing stopped. They were hungry, they were thirsty. They looked at the sand and saw gray. They began to murmur.
Was there not enough room in Egypt to die? They missed the meat pots, they missed the security of the land.
Freedom, they discovered, is much more demanding than slavery.
Slavery only asks for your labor. Freedom asks
For your soul.
Red fell from the sky
Like dew,
waters from rocks.
they were being kept alive. They weren't yet a people.
There were giants.
They were just a cry.
They around with near without a need, without a master.
They came to a mountain that shook with thunder. The shepherd went up into the cloud. There amidst the smoke, he was given a code. Not a list of suggestions, but a framework for a new kind of humanity. No more killing, no more
But down below, the people grew bored. The shepherd had been gone too long. They felt vulnerable without a God they could see. So they took the gold they had carried out of Egypt and melted it down. They built a golden calf. They went back to what they knew, the tangible, the shiny, the silent, and they created invisible, creator for a visible creature. When the shepherd came down, he didn't see a nation, he saw a riot. The tablets of the law were smashed. The dream seemed to be over before it had truly begun. He stood in the gap, arguing with the voice for the lives of people who had already forgotten him. Mercy won, but it was a heavy victory. They started all this time with a project. They built a tent, a portable sanctuary made of acacia wood, gold, blue thread. It was a house for the presence that had led them. They worked together, weaving, carving and assembling. For the first time, they weren't building someone else's monument. They were building their own identity. When it was finished, the shadow returned. But it wasn't the shadow of death that had haunted Egypt. It was a cloud of light that settled over the tent. A visible sight, they were no longer alone. They were a people shaped by fire, water and law. They were free, but they were still in the middle of nowhere. The journey ahead was long, and the land they were ancestors. They had escaped the house of bondage, but they were still learning how to walk without a limb. The book of Exodus ends not with an arrival, but with a beginning. It leaves us with a question that echoes through every generation. Once the chains are off and the sea is closed and the mountain has stopped shaking, what do you do with your freedom?